In this tutorial, we're gonna solve cubic functions, cubic equations, cubic equations, and we have these questions listed down. We won't solve all the questions here. We only tackle two questions, that is A and C, and the rest you guys can try out. So now the question says solve each of the following cubic equation for what? For x. So A, we've been given x cubed plus 2x squared minus 5x minus 6, and this is equal to what? To 0, and we're told to find this cubic equation. So what are we gonna do? First of all, we'll use the rational root theorem in order to find possible what? Roots. So the rational root theorem would then, let's say we have PQ, and I say my P is this negative 6, then my Q being the coefficient of the leading coefficient, which is 1. Then what I do is I get plus minus all the factors of -1, so plus minus all the factors of 6 here, the P, which is the P, so plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 3, and of course plus minus what? 6. Then I'm dividing this by the factors of the leading coefficient, which is 1, which will be plus minus 1. Of course, when I divide these, what I just end up with is just gonna have this will be plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 3, and of course plus minus 6. This is what I'm gonna get. So now I have to test and see that which one of these here is gonna be what? It's gonna be a root of my polynomial function which I have here. So I have to get that, replace into this function here, or into this equation. If it gives me 0, meaning it's going to be a root. So I'll start with 1. Let me try 1. So there, that will mean 1 cubed plus 2, 1 squared minus, that's 5, 5, 1 here. Then I have minus 6. Is this going to give me 0? So I have 1 plus 2 there. I'll have -5, -6. This here clearly will not give me 0 because this is -11 plus 3. That's gonna give me -8, and -8 is not equal to what? To 0. So this is not gonna give me 0. Going to continue to try which ones are gonna give me. So the next one, let me try -1. So if I replace by -1 there, cubed plus 2, negative squared, -5, -1, -6. This will give me -1 here. Then I'll get this will be positive, that will be +1. So +1 gives me a +2. Then this will give me plus 5. Then I'll get -6. And of course, this gives me 7 minus 7, which is going to give me 0. So, which means that 1 is -1, not 1, but x equal to -1 is going to be what? A root of this quadratic function. And if that's a root, which means the factor, I have my first factor, which is x, going to be what? I take this -1 on the other side, this becomes +1. So that's the first factor. Well, I can use whatever I can want to use from this stage, either using long division or using synthetic division, but I'd rather use synthetic division to get to the next stage, such that I am able to factorize completely, then equate to 0 and find those values of what? Of x. So I find the first one to be -1. So -1, then the next thing is I list down the coefficients of the polynomial equation. So that's 1 here for the first one, then I have 2, then I have -5, then of course I'll have -6. Drop the 1 there, multiplied by that gives me -1. Subtract this gives me 1. 1 multiplied by the -1 gives me -1. I add this 2, this give me -6. Multiply there, I get a +6, and this give me 0. The remainder 0 there, 0 there is the remainder. And this here has simplified to the equation. So I have x here. What do I have? So I'm having, so this is x plus 1, that which I found at first. Then here what remains, it's reduced here to what? To x squared, that is, plus x, then minus what? 6, like that. and of course this is equal to 0 because this is a cubic function that is equal to 0. Then from here, what do? I can factorize this part here. What method am I gonna use to factorize that? I can find my factors. I can complete the square. Okay, whatever you're gonna use, if you use the factors, try to find the factors. Your product is that, the sum is 1. That means your factors are gonna be 6. No, your factors are gonna be 3. You have 3, 3 and -2. So multiply these, you get -6, add them, you get 1. So that's gonna be your factors, and that's just gonna simplify to x plus 3, and then you have x minus what? Minus 3, like that, and this will be equal to 0. So this means you're equating all this to what? To 0, and your values are just gonna be x plus 1 equal to 0, then you have x plus 3 equal to 0, and you have x minus what? 2 equal to 0. That means your values of x are gonna be -1, x equal to -3, and you have the last one, which is x, gonna be equal to what? To 2. So these are gonna be your values for that for that polynomial function. All right, the next one, again, we do the same procedure, and we will solve question C. Then, yeah. So question C, you have x cubed there, plus 2x squared minus 9x minus 4 equal to 0. Same steps as well. Here we have first find the root here, which is gonna give us a root. So there's 4 there. There's 1, so you're just gonna end up with plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 4. So I test these and see which one's gonna give me 0. So I can start with whichever I want. Let me start with x equal to -1. So -1 replacing there, -1 cubed plus 2 -1 squared minus 9 -1 -4 equal to 0. And this here, when I simplify, work out this gives me 6. But 6 is not equal to 0. That can't be a root. You can try other values, but I'm going to try -4. And I see the -4 here cubed. Then I have plus 2, -4 squared, minus 2, -4. Then I have minus 4. What do I get? Square this 3 times. They're going to be -64. Then I have, this is going to be 16 by 2. That's 16 by 2 is 32. Then that there gives me positive 36. Then I have a minus 4. And this here is just going to give me, of course, -66 plus 64, which is going to give me 0. So this shows me that -4 is a root. And I found my first factors. My first factor again, which is linear factor, which is going to be, so if I have x, first value, of course, already been found, x equal to -4, meaning this can simplify to the linear factor, which is x plus 1 plus 4, like that. I'll use this, as usual, use synthetic division. I get my -4 there. I can list them 1. I have 2, -9, and I have -4 go there. Then from here, I can simplify. So 1 multiplied by -4. This gives me -4. Add these 2, I get -2 multiplied there. That gives me positive 8, and this gives me -1 multiplied there, and I get a positive 4 and get a 0. So this simplifies the quadratic equation, x squared minus 2. So that would be x squared minus 2x minus 1. So that's what I get, x squared minus 2x, like that. So from here, I look, can I find these using factors? So multiply that, -1, add, and I see they do not have factors. Do not have factors, well and good. I'll use the equation. I'll just say this is gonna be b, negative b, I mean. Then you get plus minus root here. Then what are you gonna get? So you have b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. Okay, so I can replace that there. My b is negative 2, so this becomes positive 2 plus minus then b squared. So negative 2 squared gives me 4. Then I have a negative here, negative what? 4 multiplied by my a is 1, my c is negative 1. So this gives me positive 4, which is just going to be 4 plus 4, which is going to be 8. There, 2 down, then 1. So I just remain with 2 here. So you see, this is going to simplify to erase. So this is going to simplify to, so I have my 2, then there I have plus minus. Inside there I'll have what? I'll have 8. 8 then divided by what? Divided by 2 there. So I have 8 divided by 2. Can work this out as plus minus there. This root 2, this is going to be 4 by 2, which divided by 2, which then just gives me 2 plus minus 2 root 2 divided by 2. This simplifies to 1 plus minus root 2. So those there are going to be my values of what? My values of x. So the values of x there, values of x are just going to be, so that gives me x equal to, so that's x equal to 1. So I get when it's positive, 1 plus root 2. And the other value is x, 1 minus root 2. And of course, I found my first value as x to be negative 1, 4. So these here are going to be the values of this polynomial, and you do the rest for the others. If you are new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more of these videos. And remember to like and share. I will see you in the next video.